This is part 6 of how to prepare the Lovo series. Now, as we had seen earlier, the fire had been prepared in an earthen pit and the stones had been put in. And what you can see now is a stage where the stones are really white or even red, like you would see stones in a lava, in a volcanic crate. Now what the Lovo boys are doing are getting rid of the excess firewood or the charcoal, so that what is left are the molten lava rocks that are just waiting, and they are very, very hot temperature at the moment. Now this is a very special process, as it is very, very important that the stones are going to be in a formation where the delicacies which have been prepared will be placed and nested into the beds of stones. This can also be a very dangerous process. We would advise that people who do not know anything that have no experience in Lovo making should never try to do this at home. They should only work with an experienced Lovo maker, such as the Nakova Street Lovo boys.
There's a clan in Fiji of people who always walk on hot stones, and when they, after performing the first walk on hot stones, they invite whoever is there, even the Europeans, the tourists in Fiji, they invite them. That invitation gives those people power to walk on hot stones, and many tourists have already experienced that, and you can only experience that in Fiji. They call them the fire walkers. Not us, we have to get one of them, the priests from there.
Okay.
If we try it now.
We do not advise anybody to walk over these stones without the Banga fire walkers, ladies and gentlemen. As a head Lovo boy had said, you only need the presence of one of the Banga walkers to give you the special powers to be able to walk on the hot coals. So what the Lovo boys have done, they have flattened the molten lava rocks, got rid of excess firewood that was still burning, and they are now placing in a delicate pattern is it a bark or the stem of the coconut trees, the same coconut branch that had been used to weave the baskets that the head Lovo boy had made earlier. What is the purpose of those green stems in the on top of the hot stones?
This one is to prevent the food from sticking onto the hot stones when they are cooked.
Basically, they are doing a rack between the hot stones, a rack, sort of a stove surface to place the delicate food. This is now a very exciting process. You are now seeing the ndalo being placed delicately on the stems, and also the chickens braided in little nests of baskets. They are going to be placed delicately on the hot stove. What you are witnessing, ladies and gentlemen, is a historical part of our Fijian history, which is cooking in underground earthen oven. I would say that the furnace is about 400 degrees centigrade at this stage. Now, one of the bystanders is saying that our ancestors used to Lovo human beings. As we had said in Series 1, cannibalism was part of our culture and history. But we have now been Christianized and we no longer eat our fellow human beings. Do you have any comment, Miss Bystander?
My grandfather said that his grandfather said that humans taste like chicken.
Bleep, bleep. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is not for 16 years and under. Now, the next phase you see now are the palusami parcels being placed on top the ndalo and the chicken parcels. You will see, ladies and gentlemen, that there is a logical step being put here. The harder food were put at the bottom, then the more delicate ones are placed on the top. What you see now are the ndalo, the chickens and the palusami parcels now already placed delicately in the earthen pit. What you see happening now are coconut palm leaves.
That's why we in the fish
being
we
put around, covering the pit, so as to keep the fire or the heat in. And this is what is going to be the oven that will heat up the delicacy that you had seen placed in. You now see a little mountain of coconut leaves that is gently cradling the food parcels and the food packages and the food baskets that you had seen placed in. How would you know that it's cooked? Again, I'm asking this question because I cannot fathom how you would know by instinct that something is cooked.
We don't have a thermometer. The best thing that we use is our instinct. The shortest answer to that is we just know.
Do you have a theory?
No.
They just know. They just know by instinct. It's a traditional instinct that they learn, that is passed down through generations.
We don't have a timer, but we just know from experience, really, we just know.
How long will this take?
Judging from the heat that we felt on our legs and the color of the stones, I would say it would take us about 1.5 hours.
1.5 hours. Now that is really very, very short time for something to cook in terms of Western standards.
One of the main success of Lovo are the leaves that we use. This leaf, once it's filled with steam, they are going to stick with one another and they form a pressure.
How many types of leaves have you used?
1, 2, this is the third one. Then we have the fourth one here.
That is a breadfruit leaf, which is really the topping of the earthen pit.
Yes.
Now the smoke is still escaping from the pit.
It's going to go out. Once the leaves are filled with steam or permeated with steam, they are going to stick and form a...
Yeah. But sometimes when the leaves do not cover the food well, they use sackcloth. Is that so? Sackcloth is used on top to be able to keep the steam with the food.
Would you also bury it in some places?
We will bury it with soil. And once the soil is down, we are going to form a pressure cooker. All the food inside will be cooked like food cooked in a pressure cooker.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. As the head Lovo man said, it'll take approximately 1.5 hours to cook. And as he also said, he just knows that it is going to be cooked within 1.5 hours. Now we are going to come back in 1.5 hours and the proof will be in the tasting. Now we look forward to the next series of our video on how to make lovo.
Are you really going to cover it with soil?
Yes.
Do you know that people from elsewhere, like the Samoans and the Tons, don't really cover it fully with soil?
Yes, because they use a lot of leaves.
Yes.
Do you have any final words, Mr. Lovohead?
Lovo ahead. Yeah. From the temperature that we've experienced, the steam coming from there this early, we are sure that everything is going to be cooked. We're sure. And also from experience.
But you also know that from the fire that has burnt the stone so hot, it's ready for it to roast the food.
Now these are earth that have been used and recycled from previous lovo. So they are nicely smoked, they are nicely clean, they have withstood the test of high temperatures, and so this is one of the secret ingredients of a successful lovo.
They do not use that soil for a long time. It will be stolen by gardeners for their plants. I'll come for it.
In 1.5 hours, we will come back to film the last series of the unearthing of the earthen pit.
That's the exciting part.
This is the exciting part,
Unearthing.
apart from the final spread on the table as we will partake in this delicious meal.